Welcome, everyone, to Ask the Pastor. I'm your host, Blake Gideon, Senior Pastor of Edmonds First Baptist Church. I'd love for you to check out our church website at fbcedmond.org. There you can listen to sermons and other podcasts and find out other information about our church. So if you would do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're in the area, come visit us. Be my guest. Make sure, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, that you do that. We'd love for you to like and share with your friends and your family and repost. That would be greatly appreciated. I do have two questions for today, and they're similar in their intent. The first question is this: is the Enneagram sinful? Okay, that was my first question for today. And the second question is much like it: is yoga sinful? So today we're going to talk about the Enneagram and yoga. And should Christians participate in either one of those things? Well, I'm sure you're aware that lines would be divided within Christianity about whether you should participate in the Enneagram or in yoga. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, I know what yoga is, but what's the Enneagram? Well, Enneagram is an ancient symbol that finds its origin in the occult. As a matter of fact, it was believed to be handed down by way of vision, and it was used among Kabbalists, Sufi mystics, and also among the Chaldeans. In our modern day, it has been used as a personality test. Now, as a matter of fact, this is what it looks like right there. And some Christians, of course, are afraid of it because it's similar to the pentagram, which is the symbol of the occult. Well, this is not a pentagram; it's an Enneagram. Enneagram simply means 9, and the purpose of the Enneagram is to be used as a personality test. For example, a lot of businesses, before they hire an employee, they'll have them use Myers-Briggs. Most people know what Myers-Briggs is. It's a personality trait. To help one to discover their personalities, to help an employee or an employer determine the personality of their employees, either after hire or before hire. And many people believe that the Myers-Briggs fails in a lot of areas, so there's been a new movement towards the Enneagram. So on the basic level, the Enneagram is nothing more than a personality test, okay? And I think if you're using it for that, just simply as a personality test, then I think it's left up to your own individual conscience to whether or not you want to use it or not. However, if you go beyond the personality test, they do get into some spiritual things, some mystic things, and I don't think it needs to be used for that. I think you need to go to the Word of God for spiritual development and not the Enneagram, all right? But if you're simply using it as a personality test, then I'm going to leave it up to you in your own Christian conscience to determine whether it's something that you should do. I don't think that I can come out and say, no, you should not use this as a personality test. I will say you should not use it for anything more than that. Okay? So thank you for your question today. The second question I have today is about yoga. Is yoga sinful? Well, let's talk about yoga for a moment. Yoga focuses on harmony between the mind, the body, and the soul. Yoga derives its philosophy from an Indian metaphysical belief. So, that's why there's a bunch of gurus in India who practice yoga. The ultimate aim of yoga is to strike balance between the mind, the body, and the soul in order to find self-enlightenment. And so they'll use like mantra or chanting and certain kinds of physical exercises and meditative stances in order to try to become more aware of who you are for the purpose of self-enlightenment. So make no mistake about it, there is a spiritual sense to yoga that can be taken too far. I'm gonna answer this the same way I did with the Enneagram. On the basic level, yoga is an exercise. It helps you to focus on posture, relaxation, meditation, and breathing. And I don't know about you, but as a Christian, those are all things I need to be working on. I need to be working on my posture. I need to be working on relaxation. I need to be working on meditation, and I need to be working on breathing. And so I think yoga is fine if you simply use it on the basic level, for a Christian to use it in the sense of helping them in those areas. But I think once you begin to get into the Eastern metaphysical portion of it, where you actually use it as an aspect of worship, of worshiping self and those type of things, I think it's almost like golf. Golf is fine unless you go beyond a hobby and you make it an idol. You understand? I think the same thing can be said about yoga. I know I've done yoga, not for the purpose of spiritual enlightenment. The Word of God does that for me. But I do it for the purpose of exercise, to help my breathing, to help me relax, even though I rarely relax because I'm hurting all the time when I do it. But I have used it to help strengthen my core and my posture, to help with back trouble. And so I've used it for physical purposes, for exercise, to sweat and get the impurities out. I think if that's all you're doing, you're fine. But if you go beyond that, I think you open yourself up to something that God doesn't desire. So I'm going to answer this question the same way I did the other one. I'm going to leave it up to the individual Christian conscience to make that decision. All right? God bless you. Thank you for your questions today. Look forward to answering more next week.